Who do you think actually went out in the draft?
Oh jeez, Rick, we're in some real trouble.
I know, Morty. Just follow my lead.
A devil's advocate, is that what we're calling it now?
If I went on for all of you guys would be like 0-20. So like, I do one bad day. Where was my Dream League like 20-0? No one's bringing that up.
It's because nobody cared about Dream League.
Shit, man. Some of the times like you and Ben predict stuff. Oh my lord. That's why I had to come back to casting. Some of those predictions, I was like, I am back on my way, Cap. Let me salvage this for you.
You had to save me from myself. Is that it?
Man, I watched you at like at TI. That was some rough stuff. I had
my boy Trascal.
There's like 2 minutes of analysis, and I was like, the bat signal's been raised. Like, here we are, man. What'd they say? Navi's gonna win?
Yes.
All right. That's an easy one. Mineski all the way.
You're down with the Razor Vengeful Spirit draft. Didn't you just say Vengeful Spirit, garbage hero?
Razor and Venge are like my two least favorite heroes, but I feel like I've got to take a stand.
This has nothing to do with the draft and more to do with the message you're trying to send.
Anything you guys say, I'm just gonna take the opposite side of.
Predictions.
No, but really, I don't know. I really don't like Razor as a hero, and that's why he's gonna win. Because whenever I really don't like something, somehow it ends up just like working out. But like Razor as a hero is confusing to me. Like he doesn't flash farm. He doesn't scale ultra hard. His early game is okay, but his laning phase has to go really well. And even then, if your laning phase goes well, I don't know. There's like too many things that have to go right for this hero, in my opinion, for like that to work.
Well, there's already one thing going right. Crystallize is having to make the long trek up the top lane just to avoid being against the Razor. So Mineski should be pretty well set up for the laning phase. If Moon can somehow manage to win mid against Alina, which is unlikely as a Mirana, right?
It's okay, but I think Dendi Alina's just like been on fire, no pun, for the last like 3 games that I've seen it. Like he almost always has the top net worth. I think it's just a hero that he's really comfortable with in this meta. Like not a lot of people play it anymore for good reason, but it seems like Navi's able to make that playstyle work a little bit better.
It's getting that big push in. Mirana's going to have a hard time last hitting underneath that tower, but the aggro dual lane, I should say, of Mineski's should be able to fare pretty well. Yeah. Top lane, they are going to go for Seneko here. Looks like they caught him out trying to wrap around behind the jungle area, and he is done.
Yeah, I told you, man. Mineski off to a good start. This bottom lane, Razor's doing just fine. This Enchantress hasn't had a lot to do yet.
So if the laning phase is going to go really well for Mineski, I actually want to reference our last series here. EG was able to stabilize off of a bad laning phase. What did they do that most of the other teams have not been able to do so far? It seems like all the games we've been watching, laning phase goes really well. Game is pretty much decided from there.
It was a bit different last game because their high ground potential is just kind of bad last game.
Yeah.
Like you had that repel Broodmother, but I think I've told you in the past, like I'm not... Broodmother as a hero, like in the ultra late, feels really bad. Because her abilities are just like scaled off her right clicking.
Right.
But she doesn't have a natural disable or the ability to gap close. So when you don't have either of those things, you're just going to have some difficulties as the game progresses.
Yeah, we saw them having to pick up both Blink Daggers on Bloodseeker and on Broodmother just to try and curb some of that weakness.
Yeah, and that feels really bad. But Razor kind of has that same issue. I guess his ability to go high ground is a bit better because he's just naturally a range hero, right? So you've got that advantage, but...
oh, nice block off here, but the arrow is not going to land. Dendy's going to be able to sidestep that one.
That would have been a big kill. But maybe Navi just wins this because this Lina goes ham. Like, the benefit of Lina, and the reason why I think it benefits Navi especially is, like, she's going to go Bloodstone, and if you look at Mineski's catch, it's pretty limited. So maybe if she just gets farm, gets a Bloodstone, it's not the first kill that matters. It's like you have to kill her 2 or 3 times, lower charges.
Mushi manages to bait out the rage use of the Lifestealer with faking out Magic Missile. He seemed to be pretty okay with not having the Razor matched up against Crystallize. They're not going to be playing that chasing game, trying to always lock down a matchup that is favorable for them. Because it seems like this defensive dual lane / tri lane that sometimes ends up being is still good enough
Yeah.
against the Lifestealer. And it's up to Roger to really offset this laning phase. Since he is the 4 position that's able to take advantage of the jungle, he's got to try and find a win here. And not just killing a support. He needs a big core kill, but I'm not sure where he goes to find that.
Yeah, he's headed down bottom. Like he might even run into jabs here, which would be ideal as the Razor went back to base, ice. Now he's gonna TP in. And they only have like one playmaker, it's Jabs, who went off in the last tournament, but we'll see how much they adjusted. Because I think they learned a lot from that
Dire's
last.
middle tower's under
All
attack.
right, we've got 4 boulders
Yeah.
we can throw. If Roger actually gets this
Oh.
one, there goes out the first one. Second one, gonna be followed up, and they have the Earth Spirit here. So it's just stones galore. 1-1 now, as they finally do manage to find that rotation, but it was a big one. The Razor, who's been kind of free farming this bottom lane, is sent back to base once again. Actually, I say free farming. He's not at all. He's 7-4. It looks like the Puck was owning that lane.
Yeah, Puck's doing fine. Like, beginning was a little bit rough, but he's got to play back for the most part. But this is just like Mineski styles. Like they picked 3 cores, kind of greedy. Remember that time they had like ice arc warden?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
maybe one of them comes online. That's the gamble.
Oh boy, Dire's bottom tower.
And who is that one? Is it Mushi's Vengeful Spirit?
I mean, Bushi's doing great. Like the thing that I think hurt Na'Vi in the long run at the tournament was, so far what I've seen them play is they're like weird lane swap shenanigans where, like poor Crystallize, man, like he hasn't had a normal, like I don't even know if I call him like a safe laner anymore. He's like a weird Carmen Sandiego-esque player who just like travels around the map and like, I guess this is my new home. Like I don't think this guy has played the same lane consecutively in such a long time.
Yeah, every single time he just seems to get relocated around.
But it also speaks to like how they trust him to make the comeback. It's like, oh, Crystallize kind of tank like the worst lane. Like what's the worst thing that can happen to you, man? Well, you'll catch up. Like, don't worry about it. Like,
And this is all to whose benefit? Do you think this
Dendy's.
benefits Dendy quite a lot?
This is meant to benefit Dendy, and it's meant to kind of shift the support focus all the time from Mineski, so that Dendy gets a clean 1v1 mid, which is often what happens. So you can't really blame Crystallize if the game goes wrong.
Nukes going on ice here. Trying to slow him down. They're going to orb in front, but that'd be a dangerous
is that a
position.
mana?
Jab's already set up there. They're going to be able to start getting the drain onto General. He doesn't have a whole lot of mana to work with and no phase shift levels. So now they're going to start working on Roger. He does manage to get the courier kill, but it may not be worth it, as he's probably going to be dying here. The Razor, a double kill for the Razor. Really great comeback for him.
They,
That's that gank.
I really feel like that they shouldn't have done that. That was just a little bit too over-aggressive. They felt like they had to make some kind of play. Like the puck jumped into it, and at that point it's like, you gotta give up on that kill up the top.
Ninja Boogie gonna be gone. A great kick from Seneko. Gonna
might
nail
just
both
kill him,
Ninja
though.
Boogie and Bushi, but they do manage to slow down Crystallize, slow down that damage, and with the missed roll in from Seneko, Ninja Boogie is gonna be able to stay ahead of one step ahead of all of these spells. No Satyr Blast, no roll in from the Earth Spirit, and he is able to survive.
Yeah, that was pretty significant that they can't kill him in that rage timing. But that's kind of expected, right? Jakiro's one of the more tanky 5 position heroes, like 800 HP, 3 armor, somewhat okay-ish move speed. I don't want to say good. That would be an overreaction, but so far, a lot of the action so far based around this Chen, who going from lane to lane Roger, trying to make stuff happen. And this is often kind of Navi's playstyle, like they pick Roger or jungler or some hero that can roam around, and they try to get stuff done.
Going in again, this time it's on Mushi. Ninja Boogie's here, but he doesn't have Ice Path to immediately slow them down. Maybe with the dual breath. Mushi's actually good enough on armor, so they're going to turn on Roger instead. With Jabs here, they might be able to get that kill. It's going to be trade-off potentially. Ninja Boogie's going to be the first one down, and it looks like Jabs will manage to get the right clicks to finish off the Chen, but he is being turned around on. They're going to be slowing him down with the open wounds. Follow up with the Chen. Centaur stun. So an easy 2-for-1 here at this top lane. Na'Vi are beginning to make these lanes work for them purely through the Chen's rotations.
Yeah, and that's always kind of just been their playstyle, is to move this Chen around, move Roger around, try to create some space, and maybe that's how you win through these lanes. Because we talked about how Dendy's going to be the direct recipient of some of these moves. He's the highest net worth in the game by a pretty hefty margin, considering it's only 800. It's like 8 minutes in, but he's already 500 gold, 600 gold ahead of everyone. Like, this is Navi's playstyle. tried, true, and tested.
Double 4 positions. They're going to run into Moon, trying to snatch up that enemy bounty rune. Unable to do so, but won't be punished for it.
Dire's middle
Dude,
tower is
he's-
under attack.
Mid lane right now is really rough.
Yeah,
Like,
where
he's
is his
full 2
boots?
levels behind. He doesn't have them because of the courier death,
Yeah.
and I think that's hurt him more than anything because he can't play aggressive on this Lina. And Dendi's just got a soul ring and he's spamming out. He's stacking both camps at once right now. Although he's gonna miss that one camp. Oh no, he doesn't. Oh wait, he does. Because there's a ward up there.
Yeah, the ancient camp is going to be blocked off. But Ward also gives really good vision of mid lane. Now, Vengeful Spirit very much kind of pushing core. Does a lot of early game damage. The combination with the Jakiro, these two have a good safe lane together. They can actually start threatening some of these early tier 1 towers. And I'm not even sure, even with the Chen, if Navi's going to be able to match that timing.
They have Puck though, and that's the great part about having Puck in a game like this is if you overextend on one of your other lanes, then you can just TP in and do the counter. It's kind of like having Queen of Pain in that regard. It's like you have a Queen of Pain or a hero like Puck that can just immediately close, and Puck's even better at that because of
Ooh, Lina's actually going to be one teleport in, try and follow up that open wound setup on Mushi and go for more. Ninja Boom throws himself to the trees, does have a TP scroll. He has to find that one hiding spot that allows him to be able to
did
TP
he
away.
get
He
it?
just managed to juke him out. He goes
No
for it. It looks
way.
like he's going to be good. Dendy's too far away to get the LSA, and the Centaur is not going to be able to get inside the trees fast enough. What a great juke from Ninja Boom.
That was sick. He had 4 heroes on him. The thing is, they all went the same way. They
Yeah.
thought they were collapsing on him, but instead, he just runs left, does the 2
Oh,
spears.
the arrow! They got it. General had no phase shift, so that quarter a second where he was done with the Fisher stun wasn't able to do anything to dodge that arrow.
Wow, very well done. As they needed that, and that's a direct response to what happened up at top when the Lina had a TP in. If that doesn't happen, maybe the Puck doesn't have to go for that rune.
Looks like
Light Shadow wrap around Fisher in the arrow. No, can't get it. Range creep is in the way. Vengeful Spirit does go into the jungle and finds Roger immediately. Looks like they're going to be able to burst him down pretty quickly. Crystallize, pops Rage, TP's out. Seeing that this is not a good situation. Oh, they're going to be able to stop that TP at the same time. Moon's going to go down in the middle lane from the Laguna play. Crystallize, stopped by his TP. Has no defense mechanism anymore. So Mineski do manage to get a little bit of vengeance. Good wrap around the top lane, but losing Nana or Moon in that mid lane, that's got to be rough. Denny's just getting bigger and bigger. Now a 1,300 gold lead between him and the Vengeful Spirit.
You see the benefit though of having some kind of BKB breaker or rage breaker is that oftentimes with heroes like Jug and Lifestealer, what made them so popular for a time was there weren't a lot of heroes that were being picked that could break those. So for the most part, you had this get out of jail free card that you could always utilize. But right there with the swap, we see that this is kind of the idea. Like whenever he tries to go for that TP greedy play, we can always stop that.
Oh, Radiant's top
They really
tower
need
is
to stop
under
Denny though.
attack.
And this is such a fast blink dagger on the Earthshaker. 11 minutes in, Jabs already has it.
This
He
is
was the
crazy.
Yeah, he's the big playmaker for them.
And they've set up for the perfect hero to shut down with that first Blink Dagger reveal. They went for the smoke up, went towards mid lane, even got the ward down to be able to spot out the off lane camps. But Dendy doesn't actually stick around that area. Looks like he wants to maybe think about going top here.
Yeah, and they're gonna spot both Roger and Denny, but Denny's like the real target
All right,
here.
they're going to go for Roger, but Dendy finally shows up, but it's a little bit too late. Mineski have already made their commitment, not going to be able to do anything about that one. Has to back themselves away. The Chen popping his level 6, getting that heal off.
They got the boulders too, but there's one, and unable to do so. And meanwhile, at the same time, Ice does go down at bottom lane, but that's the reveal of the Blink Dagger. Pretty significant, although he's revealing that he's got an 11-minute Blink Dagger. I don't think he cares too much.
It's still pretty rough not being able to get that key kill. Because he just as easily could have gone bottom lane and killed the Lifestealer, but they said Dendy's the most important person right now. He is absolutely free farming. We got to get that kill.
Yeah.
Got to keep him from being able to pick up that early Bloodstone.
There is something to be said though. Like when you're really that far ahead, you kind of know that the radar's on you.
Yeah.
Like oftentimes when you play these snowballing mids like Storm or Lina or Queen of Pain or SF, you know that the next gank is coming towards you. And that's why he just backed up, played really safe. Like a lot of people would be like, that kind of deviates from the pattern that Denny's shown. Like he usually shoves out the lanes, but I think he understands like I'm really far ahead. What I have to do is not throw away this lead.
Oh,
At the same time, Jabs, like that was kind of a desperation play because he didn't even have Echo. And they also shot the arrow early. So at best, that's like, that's a very hopeful kill.
Mineski do manage to take the tier 1 safe lane away from Na'Vi. Not trying to contest it whatsoever, focusing all their energies on mid and attempt to be able to kill whatever hero. Nice Fisher, it actually blocks out Crystallize really well. In the Moonlight Shadow, they will manage to get the Jakiro out of danger. Ice does manage to spot this ancient, I'm not even going to say stack, just a single camp that's been cleared by Tornado.
That was
slowly but surely.
That was such a sick Fisher. And if you just take a look at the net worth, for a long time now, this Earthshaker has formed this Lifestealer. And that is such a bad sign right now for Na'Vi. That their one position player has been this sacked. He's 4th in net worth charts. 4th from the bottom, I should say.
And he's kind of like Chaos Knight in the regard that he's a killer hero, right?
Yeah.
In order to get back into the game, you can't just AFK and farm. You got to go out and try and kill things.
The downside, though, is that the puck has also been slowed down. And that's the main reason why I think that the puck is going for the Blink Dagger instead of the Veil build that we see so frequently. Is because he realizes it's not just about getting his game online. He's like, I need this Blink so that I can be the vehicle. And if I can't, then my Lifestealer will never get back into this game. The way they get back into the game is by using that vehicle. But it looks like they want to set up on mid. Moon, understanding that they don't have a sentry here, he sees that 3 Na'Vi heroes are set up.
There's the roll. Ninja Boogie already
Maybe
had the
if he
heads
gets
up,
there?
though, from Moon. Arrow's going to completely whiff there.
Yeah. Instead, he's just going to Starfall out the wave. It would have been nice if they could have gotten everyone there, but they're assembled up at top because they want to grab this tower. It's so low. 167 health. And Shaker needs to be up here to secure this tower. If anybody from Na'Vi comes, it's a defense. And I think that Na'Vi should defend it. Like, General has Coil.
Askamanis makes it really easy for Mushi to take it all by himself. Another roll-in attempt. This time they will manage to land it onto Ninja Boogie, slowing him down long enough for Dendy to get there with a good up late, and he just picked up his Bloodstone too. So an extra charge already.
It's a really fast Bloodstone. 15 minutes in. Can complete his upgraded boots as well. Although I think Denny likes when he travels. I'm not mistaken. Gonna get that catapult tonight, but doesn't matter too much. He's doing so well. The downside for him though is, we talked about how this playstyle sets up for him doing the best on his team. He's gonna have to do a lot of heavy lifting in this game. And he's gonna go for the Shadow Blade first, which is very typical of pretty much any Lina player nowadays. This is the kill combo. And it's also because you move around the map so quickly.
What about this Blade Mail build from our Razor? Is it just, you know, cheap armor item that he wants?
I don't think you can afford to go for a core build, if that makes sense. You can't go for like this Hurricane Pike plus like Ag, Shivas, all those items, because you're never going to find that opportunity. So I think he realizes like he's just got to be as annoying as possible and be a presence on the map and take fights.
The same smoke rotation that we've seen before. Mineski are going to get a ward behind the tower. See if they can spot Dendy here. The TP already coming in from Senego. They are managing to get the arrow onto Dendy, but no immediate follow-up. Jab's just a little bit too far away. Does manage to land the Fisher now. Now the magic missile comes out. They're going to try and kill Dendy real quickly before he can pop the Bloodstone Suicide, but he already gets it off. Mineski surround this tier 1 tower. And it looks like they should be able to get it too before the Lina's back up. She's up now, but even with the glyph, it looks like Mineski already too well set up for this push.
Notice Bloodstone, Dendy's immediately up, doesn't really care too much. And that's why they like picking him this hero, so that he can continue to play this very push out the lane heavy style, which allows then the rest of the team to be able to make plays. But this Lifestealer has been inside this Earth Spirit for like quite some time. Eventually pops out, but like that's how he's trying to get back into the game. For the most part, he's either just been hitting these neutral picks or pop inside somebody, like wasting his time. I don't think this is how Crystallized wants to play this game.
Drain onto mid. Dandy doesn't have the Bloodstone Suicide this time around. He is going to die. Ninja Boogie is going to be gone on the top lane, trying to protect that tier 1 tower. Will lose his life for it as well as the tower.
Really greedy for him to just set up there, but
Especially when they're already setting up on mid. Feels unnecessary to be top at all.
and I think you know the Slayers, like if you're going to make a play at the same time, you move back at the same time that play's being made, so that you haven't tipped it off, and now you can say like, okay, now it's obvious, like, we're going to this play, I should start running. Because if Na'Vi doesn't get a rebuttal kill there, then it was all for nothing. But they get a kill and a tower. Nice by them. Ice, almost... What is he? He's like swerving around for item. Got like a bracer, but it's like he wants drums.
Yeah.
But he has chainmail that I don't know what else he's gonna build that into.
Yeah, he's got the blade mail on his quick buy, so he just needs another 100 gold. I mean, I'm sure you just build all the early game stat items, right? You're still gonna build both blade mail and drums.
Yeah,
Dyer's
I'd
middle
imagine so.
tower's
I don't know how
under
much
attack.
value blade mail has though in this game.
I
think
mean,
it's-
I was wondering at that as well against Life Stealer and such. Doesn't seem like the active is too strong for you.
yeah. Although he is
So
gonna
roll in with the coil plus the Life Stealer.
very
This
dead.
is a very dead light or razor rather.
And it's actually the Earth Spirit that's gonna be the vehicle right now. But Puck does have a blink dagger now.
Is that so Puck can show himself and shove out waves?
Yeah.
Instead of just trying to get the Life Stealer to these kills.
Oh, you're so smart. That's exactly what it is.
Thanks, Will.
'Cause
I
Denver
learned
can't
from the
be-
best. Oh, what a swap arrow! I love combinations like that. Props to you, Mineski.
Oh shit.
You know what I always loved is the old VP with FNG.
Yeah.
Where they were so good at being able to get swap combinations, and that was a beauty.
The
from
swap
Mineski.
birds. That was always one of my favorites. Swapping to Visage Suns.
Yeah.
But very well done by Mineski. That's a huge kill. Is it though?
I was
Still like
Life
a-
Stealer. He's looking more like a support than a core at this point.
Yet he still has more net worth than this Vengeful Spirit.
Yeah, what happened to Mushi?
I don't know. Mushi hasn't even died.
He got the Mask of Madness and everything.
Oh,
Isn't
no,
that
no,
supposed
no.
to be a good farming
He's
item?
good. He's good. He's good.
Oh, yeah. The Shadow
He
Blade
has
and
a
his
full Shadow
courier.
Blade. Yeah.
Let thy healing
I was gonna say, I was like,
Why doesn't courier count your net worth? Come on, man.
that was weird. Like Mushi, why are you so poor? That makes.
Now he's good. Second in net worth, has a Shadow Blade, can go for easy kills.
Dude, I thought Mushi had died like 14 times. Like, it's the only explanation for what's going on there.
It looks like they just stumble into the Life Stealer again. Poor Crystallize, man.
Nah, he's fine. They need to get a ward down before they make that move down.
Yeah.
If anything, they're gonna wrap around bottom, and he's gonna spot the puck. But
Dyer's
General
top tower's under attack.
keeping out, and this is such a
Dyer,
Navi
you gotta
classic.
fortify them
General
death
pushes
structures.
out
Good
bottom,
work.
then he pushes out top, farms out the jungle repeatedly.
Dyer's top tower's under attack.
Yeah, that's what you're talking about. So like the whole Dendi mid situation, right? His team creates all the space in the world
Yeah.
for him in the laning phase, and then he in turn has to return the favor by aggressively shoving out waves and giving Crystallize time to recover.
But he's not exactly in the position that he normally is. Like, this is a 5 Bloodstone charge Lina, who still has a lot of net worth. But they're gonna go for the Roshan, and I'm not sure if Mineski realizes this. They should, as soon as the top creep wave meets, they should know that this is happening.
But it might be a little bit too late. Top creep wave is gonna meet now.
Nobody
And by the time Mineski start realizing what's happening, Roshan is about ready to drop. They're gonna start rotating over to your right. They do make that read. Arrow comes out, doesn't land on anything, and as a result, there's no fight that Mineski can really take. The Moonlight Shadow goes out. They're still trying to fight this one. Swap saves Jab's life ever so barely, and Na'Vi are gonna try and make a clean extraction from that Roshan engagement. And they should be successful too.
Yeah, that was really intelligent move by Na'Vi. They push out the top lane really aggressively. They know that the wave won't beat for a few seconds. And oftentimes Radiant's response to that is, we're going to push out top ourselves, right? But as soon as that the creeps meet,
Dyer's top
they realize,
tower's under
wait a second,
attack.
they let us grab a tier 2 at bottom.
Radiant's middle
Nobody's
tower is
smoking
under
us or
attack.
anything like that. And at the same time, they're not pushing out top.
Bushi setting up the Shadow Blade kill straight to the arrow. Great setup. And now Jabs is here as well to be able to catch General as he tried to make an aggressive blink and goes for the orb backwards, but gets shut down by the Earthshaker real quickly. This is why Pucks hate playing against Earthshakers. Instant long-term stun.
And Na'Vi thought that because they had the Aegis, they're like, there's absolutely no way that Mineski's going to take this fight. Because that's usually what Aegis affords you is this time. But we talked about it, how you don't want to immediately go for these like 3 or 5 man plays when you have the Aegis. You want to try to get a little bit more map control on the map. And instead, you waste 2 minutes of the Aegis now just with people being dead.
And honestly, Mineski's lineup isn't supposed to slow down ever, right?
No.
At this point in time, they should never be like, oh, we can't fight.
Yeah, they should.
Even against an Aegis.
They shouldn't mind that too much at all. Because the rest of the heroes on Na'Vi are so weak that as soon as they catch any sort of break in terms of numbers advantage, they should just go for it.
Oh, Radiant's top tower
Like,
is under
Crystallize
attack.
is kind of catching up, but the puck's just like dipping further and further.
Ice? Not drums. It wasn't drums, apparently, Blitz. It was a rod of Asos.
Ooh, okay. Like a casual rod. Very nice. Nice.
Okay. So some long range catch. Jakiro barely getting away there. TP out. And with the Chen down, looks like Mineski are going to roll up on a tier 2.
This is how confident they feel. Even with the Aegis on the other side, they're like, we can probably win a 6v5.
This is very rapidly affording them a big net worth lead. It's already 2K before the tier 2 drop. Now Dendy's trying to do what he can. Look at him chip down at that bottom tier 1 tower, hoping to be able to make the trade-off, but Mineski in a good position to defend. Oh, trying to set this one up. The other hero right behind him. The ice path goes down, immediately catching Dendy as he attempts to go for the LSA. Looks like ice. Bit too fast for Dendy here.
Yeah, barely.
Oh, another
Just
setup.
barely.
No, Lifestealer. He's a little bit scared of moving forward. I would be too. Between the combinations of Moonlight Shadow ganks and now the Shadow Blade for the Vengeful Spirit. Rage is simply not a good protector for this Lifestealer.
They smoke though. They're trying to run into somebody, and Mushi might actually be the one to break it. Finds the Chen, and now they're pinging like crazy.
Ooh, they're gonna go onto ice here. Managed to steal a lot of damage away from Seneko, but can't turn around on Crystallize. A little bit too low, and Coil's gonna be able to catch him. So they do manage to get that kill at the same time. Dendy goes down at top.
And
they're gonna go for the extra kill here.
Yeah, Roger went down too. Do they have?
Oh no, we even see a Enchant Totem stun, but it shouldn't matter. They got the Fissure. We're all good. They're still going to be able to pick up that kill. Back over to Ninja Boogie. He's being chased down underneath his tier 1 tower. Didn't have any counter vision for the Moonlight Shadow, so he's going to get free Ice Path setup into the Macro Pyre. His allies are on their way, but they're not going to be here fast enough. Finally, Seneko throws out the dust. There's no invis here, my friend. Maybe he thought Mushi's Vengeful Spirit was around, but instead it's going to be Jabs and Moon are going to be the first ones here. Slowing down Crystallize, managed to get the Fuse Blade into the arrow, cutting him down. So Ninja Boogie completely sacrificing himself to be able to slow down Na'Vi members for the rest of his allies to get there, and they certainly do clean up the kills.
At the same time, I'm not even sure if it's worth it for Jakiro to die to a Lifestealer. Like, that's how far ahead they are.
He's
like,
so far down.
Look at the swing in gold. It actually cost them more. 400 versus the 300. Like, any kill right now for Na'Vi matters, and the laning phases for them just went so poorly. The mid game was almost all Mineski. I still don't understand how Jabs had such a fast blink dagger, but he's made so many plays as a result of it. I was going to say he has a Yasha, but he was just delivering the Miranas, not really risking the courier at this point.
Okay, we can say it's worth it some of these times, but eventually Lifestealer has to become a real hero,
He
right?
really needs more items. Like 7,000 net worth when
He's only sitting on an armlet at 26 minutes.
yeah, like it can't be just the Lina carrying this weight, and I mean you can't really.
Lena's on 3 Bloodstone charges.
The problem is like I can't really blame him. This is it's just kind of the cards that he was dealt. I don't know how he's supposed to recover in a game like this because he has nowhere to farm really.
So who is it on for Na'Vi? Like
I don't know. This
who's,
looks like
who's
a team.
not been pulling their weight. When
This
it
looks
comes
like a
to
team, like a lot of team errors so far. Like after the Roshan, that fight at top or that engagement at top was just really rough for them. Like they can't afford that. And Dendy might just go
Great
down.
setup. Fissure into Enchant. 2 Bloodstone charges. Now they're still going to try and fight this one. Mushi actually goes for the swap. He's got the BKB, so he's good with fighting right in the face of Na'Vi. Na'Vi shrink under the pressure there. Have to back up to their tier 3 and give up all these outer towers, it seems. Mineski are just going to go straight for the high ground. With 40 seconds left on Dendy's death timer, I thought they were going to go for the tier 2 atop, but instead...
No, I think they're so strong. They've got 3 range heroes. They got the Venjara. Look at how quickly they take this. Mask of Madness popped. This tier 3 tower is going to go down in a very short while. I think Rax is going to follow too. Even if they had buyback, I don't even know if it's worth expending it.
General. He's so scared of initiating because he knows
Don't get swapped.
Jabs is able to just blink Gecko. They do try and go for an offensive play here.
Yeah. Don't get swapped, don't get stunned. But that's so much harder of a task. And that's why I was a little bit more confident, because even if like you have this Razor that I'm not a big fan of, like the rest of the heroes are just so good. Their way to start a fight is so strong right now on the side of Mineski. Like, Na'Vi right now are just getting run roughshod. And with the laning setups going the way that they did, they weren't really able to recover these heroes. Like, it was kind of the situation where Roger had to create a lot of space, and if he didn't, then the game was instantly really difficult for Na'Vi. Because they were naturally just going to lose 2 lanes. They felt confident that their Mirana could recover, and they just kept ganking the Lina. Like, as soon as Jabs got Blink Dagger, Dendy could no longer play that sort of Dendy style where he shows in that top. He just gets echoed on.
So what are you going to do as Dendy? You're just going to farm off neutrals and kind of safely push, but that's not going to afford much space. to anybody on the side of
Oh boy,
Na'Vi.
Tiger's
You've seen
middle
Mineski
tower's denied. What are you
routinely
gonna do
smoking
now?
and going for aggressive invasions and really going undetected most of the times just because the lanes haven't been in a good position for Na'Vi.
Yeah. They need this puck to like continuously shove in the lane. They need the Lina to continuously shove in top lane. But Mineski are just so punishing. Anytime anybody shows on the map, it's like Jabs is like blink echo. Who else is here with me? Oh, Mirana? Okay, well you're dead then.
They're going to have a Shadow Blade form soon, so all the Invis initiators.
Yeah, this is so rough. Like you don't have gold, so you can't really play like place the sentry game everywhere, and you're not playing aggressively enough, so you also can't do the same thing. Like you have to play against this Mirana Invis. So you need sentries everywhere. You need dust.
And we're about to hit our big mid-game swing for Mineski, where we've got BKBs, and they're pretty much unstoppable. No real disables from Na'Vi to be able to lock him down.
Dude, Mineski look even better. We talked about on the pregame shows, like, okay, so they all played a previous tournament just like a few days ago. How does it impact them? Like, certain teams will play the same playstyle and try to like tweak things, and other teams will like get figured out.
And you think Na'Vi is playing the same playstyle?
I think Navi's playing the same playstyle, and I think Mineski's playing even faster.
Okay. That was the really interesting thing about that series is that was that first game, right, where Na'Vi was it them who were playing like super aggressive between their 2-4 positions and just moving all around the map, and Mineski was keeping up with them. And now it seems like Mineski's actually overtaking them when it comes to speed.
Complexity?
Yeah, that's complexity.
But I mean, comparisons can be made in general.
Yeah.
Just like Na'Vi, for the most part, they were looking to fight. But when they play this split push game, like when they're forced into that kind of split push game, I almost always see them lose.
Yeah, it's not a good look for Na'Vi, for sure.
It feels like they need the ability to like go well in the laning phase and then take these fights. But when they're kind of like put in this position where they're just like sucked down in farm and they can't go anywhere, and so they have to do this thing where like General takes one side of the map and then he takes another. Like, I think I've seen them do this 3 times, and it's pretty effective, but the really fast teams like Mineski are just like, they're punishing you for it every single time. Like, Dendi's got 2 Bloodstone charges right now.
Inherently, Chen is not going to be a good hero for this type of style, right? Like, he doesn't really give you the ganking options to be able to pick apart heroes when they are split up, and he doesn't really push in lanes too well for you either. Now that he's got Aghanim Scepter, he does have a dragon who can always push out a wave.
It's kind of a bother, too, to lose with your Chen strat.
Because it's no longer a tool that you have in that drafting phase.
The benefit of like certain heroes is like you want them to have this unbeatable RR, right?
Yeah.
Like for EG, it's a huge boon for them to have this Earth Spirit, or not the Earth Spirit, the Wisp in the back pocket, because that's like your trump card. You feel very confident. And for a while, for Na'Vi, it was these junglers, right? Like you play these junglers on the side of Na'Vi, and you feel like you can't really be touched. But losing kind of that drafting advantage where you can go ahead and Chen, we don't really care that much.
There's that Rotovatos in play. They're not just going to get the Chen, they're going to get the Chen's creeps as well.
Yeah, those are ancients too. Those are just so annoying to like get back.
Shakiro caught in the bottom lane. General was setting up for this quite some time. He missed out on the eventual Spirit rotation, but at least he does get somebody.
At this point, kills are kills. That's a level 14 Shakiro. He does represent some net worth. Mineski most likely waiting for the next Roshan, and even without the Aegis on the previous one, they were able to take Rax pre-20 minutes, or it's like 25 minutes.
Yeah, if they get Hurricane Pike on the Vengeful Spirit and BKB on the Murata, those are huge upgrades in damage and survivability in general against a Lifestealer.
Yeah, Hurricane Pike against Lifestealer, because he's such a burst-oriented hero. Like, you run in, you open wounds, and if you can't kill anybody in your Rage Timer, you're just kind of done.
Yeah, you might as well be playing any other carry.
Yeah.
Jabs, he just found
Like, look
Dendi.
at Jabs. Like, he just plays this map
He
so
hunts.
quickly.
And he's got a gem too, so there's no escape. He's gonna lead with the Echo Slam and Chan Totem, just hoping to be able to slow down Dendi. Doesn't have the Fissure actually, and he actually got a vision. Oh no, that's not how the gem works, friend. That's not how you do that play.
Friends!
You can't swap and throw out a projectile stun when
Jabs
the gem goes away.
Jabs is gonna chase him. I would just compliment. All right, that's not on Jabs.
That is not on Jabs at all.
That is not on Jabs. Like, Jabs had the right idea of that. He was gonna chase Dendi down.
Yeah, he was just gonna run alongside him.
Yeah.
Like, anywhere you go, I'll just keep up with you. I'll have Chen Totem up. Eventually my team's gonna get there.
Okay, regardless, the compliment was correct. Like, Jabs has been playing this very well. He's been this thorn in Dendi's side. Like, he could have just... He could
not
have
how it works.
he could have force stabbed in 1 second and just enchant totemed, and it would have
Yeah.
forced Dendy to Bloodstone Suicide. Like, that's rough.
Why?
It's all good. Mushi's played this game excellently overall.
Yes.
You get
Overall,
one of
and
those-
to be honest, it's like a little thing you don't probably
Oh,
want to
they're
think
gonna
about
run
too
into each other
often.
in the river, but Na'Vi definitely don't want to engage.
No.
That was the Echo expended.
Oh, now we've got the 50 damage. I keep on forgetting about that 50 damage. There's so many of these heroes that turn into all of a sudden big right clickers at that level 20 talent. There's a couple of plus 50s. There's Omni Knight who gets plus 100. Lich who gets plus 150.
Yeah.
Something absurd.
Let's
like-
go, guys. Remember, we were having that discussion about that, by the way. Those GPM talents not being as good as we originally thought they were.
Yep.
And we were our suspicions were correct.
Mm-hmm.
But more on that later. Oh, actually, we can bring it up because Shakiro's in this game. Perfect. So me and Austin were just talking about like Shakiro and Lich and all these heroes that like have GPM talents, and they look very attractive. But I think like we were saying, the level 20 GPM talents are just not very good because it just doesn't feel like it matters at that point.
Yeah, the only late game one that's viable is Pucks.
Oh,
and that's
there you-
because it's so much.
Are all invised up? Crystallize is running back to his base.
Not going to be
Navi?
able to make an initiation, it seems.
They're gonna see like the ancient die, like what's going on? Like, there is a
What's
BKB now
happening?
on Dendy. Like he still does a lot of damage, but this Roche fight is necessary for them.
I was about to say, but he's only single target damage, right? There's still 3 cores. Even if he kills one of them, I don't know how they deal with the other 2.
they need to go in.
Well,
with this
maybe...
Roche.
No, this is not the initiation they wanted. Not on Razor.
They really need. I don't know.
And this is exactly why I put himself in this situation, right? He's saying, you have to go through me in order to get to the Roshan pit. If you want to initiate on me, go ahead. Pretty stat heavy. Even got that evasion from the talisman.
He
Gonna
really
be going
wants
for
that
the
cheese,
Albert.
and he's gonna get it. Murana, so stacked right now. Like the level 20, like you said, 30 attack speed, 8 agi, 50 damage. This is where all of those talents add up. And she really comes online. She's gonna deal like 250 a hit with the mana burn, so that's like an additional amount of damage too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like 0.8 per 50. She's like 40 extra damage a hit.
They really need that Aghanim Scepter for the Puck. So at least they have some sort of lockdown against the BKBs of Mineski. So then our Lifestealer can go in with confidence, knowing that he's not going to get kited around. But then the other problem is Lifestealer actually needs some damage. He doesn't have a whole lot of that right now.
So this is the scary part, is they can just go high ground now. Although they don't have Mushi, and I
Where's
really feel like
Mushi
Mushi
going?
should be here for this. He's gonna run into Roger instead. And now he's gonna tip them off, and his team has to run. I really feel like he should just be there with
Yeah,
them.
Navi's TPing back. They're trying to make the full 5-man work for them
They're
right
trying to
now.
make a fight right now. They should.
It's still a little dangerous though, 5 versus 4. Ice Path into an arrow. See if they can burst down the Earth Spirit. LSA does manage to land on the Razor. In the back line, they go for it. They manage to get the initiation onto the Earth Shaker. That's huge. But Rude is right in the middle of all these cores, and he's actually winning the fight with the BKB and just the right clicks. They go back over to it, manage to get his puck, as finally Mushi shows his face over long trek from the bottom lane. Crystallize battling up against an Aegis, does manage to take it down, but at cost of his own life. Round 2. Now the initiation comes in from Jabs. Right as they were going to go for the combination of the Lina to kill Moon, who did not have a BKB, but Jabs puts a stopper in that one, and it looks like Na'Vi are just going to get knocked out. A big 1-2 punch from Mineski. Take game number 1, 36 minutes.
Looked like they didn't need the Venge at all. She just came in to wipe out.
Yeah, she pretty much came in, magic missile, stunned the pump, and that was it.
What she was expecting was for somebody to try to go for the split push, and then she could just snap somebody if you want the justification. So far ahead that with Aegis they could have just classic done that.
You think it
without
was like
having
the
to